Hey y'all, so I'm on here. I'm going to do a recap of Married to Medicine LA. I didn't even realize it was coming on today, but it was season 2, going back to Cali. Like I said, I was so excited because I wasn't expecting this to come on so soon. Okay, so it starts, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the show, but it's a spinoff of Married to Medicine, the original one, which is filmed in Atlanta. So, Married to Medicine LA, this is the second season. So it was the premiere of the second season, first episode. And so it starts out with Jasmine and Shanique. Now those are the two that are married to doctors, okay? All the other ladies are doctors, but they're the only two that are married to doctors. They're not doctors themselves. And both of them seem to be into real estate. They're very successful on their own as well, though, which is what I really like about them. So Jasmine goes to show Shanique her rental property. And last season, the ladies were really kind of clowning her, because even when they introduced, the ladies from Married to Medicine Atlanta came to LA. And so when one of the ladies that's married to the doctor, that's how she introduced herself. She's like, I'm a doctor's wife. Like when they asked what did she do and stuff like that. So of course they clowned her because they felt like she wasn't smart. She was just this, I mean, she's very gorgeous, very pretty girl. And she's very young, but she's not very young, but she's a pretty girl. And she's about maybe 30, 31, early 30s. And so they kind of really, really talk bad about her. And so now she has a concierge service business. They have, access to high-end cars, really nice houses, and she has a rental property. And the rental property was gorgeous. It's up in the Hollywood Hills. So this is a very high-end business. So I'm very proud of her. Shanique is also the other lady that's married to the doctor, and she is a property management, or they own a property management company that she runs. So like I said, they're very young, but they're very successful in their own right. So if you don't remember, last season, Dr. Britt was here in LA. She's an anesthesiologist, and she's best friend with Dr. Contessa, which is on Married to Medicine, the original, the one in Atlanta. And so her husband was still in Orlando. He is a real estate developer. So last season, they were really, having a hard time. He was like, she was working a temporary job as an anesthesiologist, and he was like, if you can't find a permanent job, I'm not gonna move with me, and the kids gonna move, because they're settled in Orlando. So last season, the last episode, she said that she was going to move back to Orlando. Well, this season she came on and she said she found a full-time job. Her husband and the kids have moved up here. They found a house. And so everything was good with that. Okay, so Dr. Armani, she's another one of the ladies. She's a psychiatrist, and her husband is he actually is, what did she say? She said that he's actually in Oklahoma. He has been in Oklahoma for 3 months now. What is he doing in Oklahoma? He is trying to start a business. She didn't say what type of business it was, but she did talk about what he used to do. He used to be in some type of R&B group back in the 90s and 2000s and things like that. So he's in the music industry. You know how that industry, I'm sorry. You know how that is. So I don't know what type of business he's opening up or starting, but I can tell when they show the next episode, this is going to be an issue. So, I can't wait to see how that plays out, but I hope they make it, because I really like them. They have one son, and she was, talking to him on the phone, and she kind of, complained. She said she didn't realize how hard it was going to be with him gone and everything like that. And, so he was like, what are you saying? Are you telling me to stop and come home? So, it's kind of like tension. And I think she wanted him to come home, but at the same time, she wanted him to stay there and do whatever type of business he's trying to do. So, you know, like I said, I can tell by the, when they did the preview for next Sunday, that's going to be an issue. So we'll see how that plays out. So the ladies from Married to Medicine, the original Atlanta, Quad, Contessa, Heavenly, and Toya came to LA. So they were getting together. It's supposed to be Britt's, that's the anesthesiologist. It's supposed to be her birthday weekend, and Contessa and Britt are best friends. And so they had a ladies get together at Jasmine's rental property up in the Hollywood Hills, like I said, this is Hollywood Hills. That is a gorgeous place. So the ladies, they went to Venice Beach, you know, just had some fun, got on the bird scooters, and just kind of hung out. And Imani and Dr. Heavenly, they went on a hike. And see, there's some tension between Jasmine and Imani, Dr. Imani, because last season, Dr. Armani made a comment about Jasmine's house and her husband. And she said that Jasmine has this huge mansion. And she and Dr. Armani insinuated that that house looked like a drug dealer house. And so it was this big deal because, you know, she was like, Jasmine is not fully black, but her husband is. And she was like, you know, how hard it is to try to, you know, people always thinking something negative about, you know, men of color anyway, and then he's a doctor, then for you to make that comment. And she even said if you Google her name, that comes up about what Dr. Amani said about her husband possibly being a drug dealer, and her husband, the house looked like a drug dealer house. So it was tension throughout the whole show with them. Dr. Amani did apologize last season, but again, I can see why she would be so offended by that, because you're working so hard and you're working, you know, you're legitimate, and then someone says that you sell drugs. That's, you know, it's very shameful. And then he's a doctor, you know, so he's worked very hard. So hopefully they'll be able to salvage that relationship. I don't know though. So that, you know, they ended up having a like a ladies' night out, and they introduced 2 new doctors. These were, one lady's name was Dr. Kendra. Well, both of them were OBGYNs, Dr. Kendra and Dr. Courtney. They were both OBGYNs. And Dr. Kendra, I don't know about Dr. Kendra, but to me, she was doing a little bit too much. The ladies were having a discussion, and you know, it happened so fast, I don't even remember how they got on the discussion, but they were, the size of men's penises came up, and Dr. Kendra, who's black, she's married to a Chinese man. So, oh, I know how. Dr. Courtney said that she's an OBGYN, and she makes the vagina look, makes it look pretty again. I don't know what that means, but whatever, however you do that, that's what she do. So Dr. Kendra, and they were saying, you know, I know they were saying something about toning it up or something like that, but Dr. Kendra, Dr. Heavenly made the comment to Dr. Kendra about her husband, because she said that she didn't think she had to worry about anything since her husband was Chinese. And there's this stereotype, which I didn't know, but there's a stereotype apparently that Chinese men have small penises. Okay, so okay, so, and Dr. Kendra went off, but I don't know. She just had a baby. Her baby's 3 months, so you know her hormones still might be out of whack or whatever. But to me, like, she really wanted to fight her. Like, she jumped up in her face, and Heavenly was saying, "I'm not gonna fight your big ass," which was so funny. But I thought, to me, she kind of overreacted. They were drinking, they were having, you know, hee and ha and you know, I just would have said, you know, that's inappropriate, I won't discuss that, or that's just a stereotype, don't believe everything you said. That's how I would have handled it. But you know, so I thought Dr. Kendra kind of overreacted, and I was like, oh, she really wants to be on the show. That's how I took it. Okay, so other than that, everything, you know, it was a pretty good episode. I do not think, if I can recall correctly, they don't get like a 3 or 4 months, however long the shows are, whatever, 3 months. Theirs is like half a season, so, which is interesting. But they started out good. This was a good episode, and I hope that they really do well, and I hope that everybody would continue to watch. Like I said, I was unsure. I did not even know it was coming on today. I was actually looking for the Housewives reunion, and it comes on next Sunday. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and tell me what you think. Did you watch the show tonight? Tell me, what did you think? All right, see you then. Bye-bye.